Well, welcome to the channel, Cyber Budo. Thanks for being here. And today we're in the room, we're on the computer, and we're going to be doing a little bit of a reaction to this very brief video. Okay, now this was made a year ago, so I ask that everyone put their political views aside to talk about cybersecurity and is there a future in cybersecurity. I understand that Elon Musk now, with his political position, people are going to have very strong feelings and thoughts, but we're focusing on something else. Now, this was an interview he did with the British Prime Minister about a year ago, and let's just play a bit of it and then let's talk about it. Let's talk about what I think personally about, is there a future in cybersecurity with the rapid development of AI? Because it is a very good question. Cybersecurity certifications, they're very expensive, and doing a cybersecurity degree is very expensive. It's a big commitment, and it's one that you don't want to enter into lightly. The good thing about cybersecurity is that you can dip your feet in slowly without too much overhead, okay? So let's just jump in. Let's see what he's got to say.
Where we have for the first time, we will have for the first time something that is smarter than the smartest human. And that, it's hard to say exactly what that moment is, but there will come a point where no job is needed. You can have a job if you want to have a job for sort of personal satisfaction, but
Just pausing it there quickly, I think that's the altruistic or the ideal version of AI, right? Is this world we live in where every repetitive, annoying function is done automatically, and that people can spend their life focusing on their creative, their idealistic pursuits, right? Without having to be in a factory somewhere processing meat or just doing some automated repetitive job. Cybersecurity can be quite repetitive too, but there are nuances to it, which I'll go into a bit more shortly. But that's kind of, I guess, the good side of AI, right? We want it to just get rid of all the heavy lifting. But there is a dark side to it too. Like, there is a component where AI is going to throw a lot of people into a meaningless life, potentially. Like, there are a lot of people out there that they do just work, and that is fine. That's what humans want to do, and they may lose that, and companies may be in a position where they're able to save trillions and trillions of dollars because they've got these advanced AI models essentially doing all the heavy lifting and work for them. And this is the superpower of AI. Will be its advantage. While it's in its infancy, it's got incredible potential. And if you've ever spoken or talked to anyone who works in, who does machine learning, computer sciences, mathematics, and all that type of thing, people who know a lot about this stuff, neural pathways, how AI works, they will tell you that the potential of this technology is incredible. So it is a threat, but we'll keep going. We'll talk more.
the AI will be able to do everything. So I don't know if that makes people comfortable or uncomfortable. That's why I say if you wish for a magic genie, that gives you any wishes you want, and there's no limit. You don't have those three wish limit nonsense. You just have as many wishes as you want. It's both good and bad. One of the challenges in the future will be, how do we find meaning in life? Mm-hmm. If you have a magic genie that can do everything you want. I do think it's hard, when.
And that's what we're seeing now, AI is helping us do things that we should be doing and doing the things that we don't want to do. But yet it seems to be the opposite. It seems like we're still doing all the things that we got to do, and now we're going to AI to help us do all the things that we should be doing, like, planning our workouts, planning our holidays. Anyway, it's off the topic of this video, but you see where he's going here, all right? And I know a lot of people right now have got mixed feelings about him. I'm not too plugged into the sphere of American politics and all that. We won't go in there. This is a cybersecurity video. So he's 100% right, though. It is a situation that could bring about, it's going to bring about some chaos and absolute. There's some things that AI is already being used for that is just scary. And then there's going to be some really amazing, innovative things that AI is going to help us do in our day-to-day life. So let's break it down to, let's just finish what he's got to say, and then we'll go more into it.
When there's new technology, it tends to usually follow an S-curve. In this case, we're going to be on the exponential portion of the S-curve for a long time. And you'll be able to ask for anything. It won't be, we won't have universal basic income. We'll have universal high income. So in some sense, it'll be somewhat of a leveler or an equalizer, because really, I think everyone will have access to this magic genie.
Okay, so it sounds all good and well in theory, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. But let's just break it down to cybersecurity, what I think and what I've learned in my couple of years since coming into cybersecurity, because I think this is a really important thing to think about. Like I said before, when you decide to pursue a career or when you decide to start investing in work, you want to know that it's practical, that it's always going to be useful. I always believe that learning a trade was a good skill, because I think society always needs people who can work with their hands, because I think that's a valuable skill, and it's something that a person can always go back and do later in life if they want. In relation to cybersecurity, there's a few things. First of all, automation, machine learning, all those things are already full steam ahead. Like, cybersecurity companies and industries are investing a lot into these technologies, into AI. It is extremely useful in cybersecurity, and we have to use it, because the threat actor, which for those of you who are new to cybersecurity, a threat actor is, a hacker or an APT, an advanced persistent threat. They're all leveraging AI. They're using AI to create exploits, to do social engineering, which is, like your phishing emails. These can be done now with perfect spelling. AI can generate code. This is all stuff that's being done at a much more rapid scale than we've ever seen before, which allows people from all parts of the world with no education or limited education, all they have to do is get a ChatGPT account and get on YouTube, and they can learn how to do all of this. So AI is amplifying the threat environment. We're seeing that now. Automation, automated attacks, it's happening, it's here. And then there's another whole very dark path, which we won't talk about, that AI is also creating in the world of cybercrime. So the world's going to need AI to defend against AI, but it's still, in cybersecurity, going to need people, okay? I feel like a lot of the low-level stuff in time will get automated out, all right? Like, reporting, data entry, a lot of that stuff already is being automated out. There are interactive dashboards which automatically feed, and all the information is already there, which takes a lot of the manual work that we've seen traditionally in companies out. And companies are going to save a lot of money out of this. So yes, computer jobs are under threat. However, I would not let this scare you or deter you from getting into cybersecurity, because cybersecurity is always going to need engineers, right? So people who actually work with the software, people who know how the AI works, people who actually code and make chat models. That's going to be a huge industry. And just defenders. I mean, cybersecurity defenders are going to be needed, because AI is still a technology, and like any technology, in my opinion, it can be exploited. Now, in an idealistic, perfect scenario, you've got this AI chat model that is connected to every source of threat intelligence, that's connected to every source of information out there, that just is constantly feeding in new threat intelligence, new data, has behavior analytics, everything built into it, and it can triage and deal with all the low-level alerts, okay? So for those new to cybersecurity, when I say a low-level alert, I'm just talking about things that are common and get annoying for a security analyst to constantly be looking at, all right? There is already automation, there are already rules that filter a lot of that out. But as attacks amplify and become more and more, we will need to rely more on artificial intelligence and automation to filter that stuff out. But we still need a human, okay? We still need a human there to do our security, because at the end of the day, AI is a technology, and like any technology, one of the fundamental things that you learn in cybersecurity is that technology can be exploited and humans can be exploited. So we're going to have to work with AI. We're going to have to work with this technology in order to fight it. It's a bit of a paradox, or whatever you want to say, but it's just the way it is. So yes, certain careers are going to be under threat, but I'd say if you're thinking about getting into cybersecurity, I think this career's still got plenty of growing to go. I would say a better approach would be to be adaptable, being a SOC engineer, learning how the software works, being a more advanced SOC analyst, so not just doing things at a base level, at an L1 level, but actually building your skills up to become valuable in other aspects of security operations is going to be also very important, okay? Detections are still a very important thing. Detections have to be written. But again, these things are going to become more sophisticated and more automated with time. Ultimately, we'll just have to wait and see. I think offensive security is not going anywhere. I think there's always going to be a need for people to conduct penetration testing, to emulate threats and attacks on an environment, to help that organization or that company, whatever, to be able to defend better against attacks. Okay, so I think that's a good avenue to go down. But the landscape and the world, the cybersecurity world, is changing rapidly, and companies will continue to find ways to save money. And if that means implementing AI, then they will do it. And to think that is not going to happen is just not facing reality. Okay, we'll have to see what happens the next decade, but I would say if you're someone who's thinking about getting into cyber right now, just do it. Just study, do your certifications, and try and do it. And I think most importantly, just be adaptable. Okay, if you think there's a threat to your work, start adapting. Start thinking of a side skill or something that you can laterally or move up into. Because people who go through life thinking, well, things will never change, I don't want to change, they're often the ones who end up getting hurt the most when these changes come and they lose their job, which is sad, but it's just the way it is. All right, that's all I wanted to say today. That's my video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you like the comment, and drop a comment below. Tell me what you think about AI. Is it going to affect it? Not going to affect it? I'd like to hear what you have to say as the audience, and if you're working in the industry, what do you think? Is it going to exist in 10 years, or are more jobs going to continue to grow?